Okay, well, good Sunday morning to everybody. Right on cue. It's going to be a muggy and rainy day, so I am inside. For those who missed my numerous appearances yesterday, we got a truckload of really old vintage. Well, they're not old. I shouldn't say that. They're not vintage and they're not vintage and they're not old. Because that would make me vintage and old. But I kind of have to work around this load of stuff. And the reason I have to work around a load of stuff is if you saw the pictures of them putting the pallet into my truck yesterday, the only way I'm going to get them out is to disassemble them in the truck. And then move them when it's light enough. So I have 2 or 3 here that I was able to get out of the truck this morning. And I kind of have to take them in the order that they are here. I don't have a choice. Alright. I anticipate lots of goodies for the eBay store. I'm at a point now where I know I can offer things like 5 pounds of RAM, 5 pounds of Goldfinger cards, 5 pounds of peripheral boards. So if you're interested in buying in bulk, shoot me a message. I'm certainly going to give you a better price than what I would charge to buy it on eBay. And the problem with eBay is, commissions and fees and every other damn thing they charge you for. So I do have a PayPal account. I have a legitimate business, Connecticut Band Instruments. As a matter of fact, this is probably going to be the last big scrap out for this summer, because from August till the beginning of October is our rental season, and I know that's where I make my money for the year. So I'll be around, just maybe not quite as much. Alright. So in front of me I have an older HP Pro Liant DL380G6. That number is early 90s, I think. And one of our subscribers brought up a good point yesterday. If you're working with an impact drill, which I am because my stupid screwdriver is not working, make sure you have it set on drill and you only use enough torque to turn the screws. If you turn this over, you're going to get too much torque, and what's going to happen? You're going to do this and you're really going to hurt yourself. I've seen people do it who were good enough to post it so that I didn't do it. So yeah, you want to be careful with that. Hi Roy, good morning. You are set at Melty Wayne just said I'm ready for the next generation because the old stuff is too heavy and bulky. You're not kidding. I've got servers in the car that weigh in the back of the truck that weigh 100 pounds. I haven't got a snowball's chance in hell of moving those. You should have seen me yesterday. It was hilarious. I wish I had had a place to put the camera. I'm standing in the back of my pickup truck yesterday, taking servers apart. Tell you. So we should find in here. Let me show you. Sometimes it's easier to show you ahead of time what we'll look for. I've actually moved all of the e-scrap outside. I have bins all lined up. I'm going to put everything into the bins and put the bins into the storage. And I know, but I'm completely bound because I can't move. I can't use the car right now because I undid all the strapping to. So I'm stuck. So anyway, let's go. PCI riser cage. That's this thing here. You'll find things that look like this. These are PCI riser cards. For those of you who are into gold recovery, they're very good for gold recovery. You've got good gold pins here. Let me just make sure I'm in the screen. Really upset I'm not going to get to church today because I can't use the car. Hopefully there'll be an online service later somewhere I can at least follow. So these are PCI Express riser cards, and that's what I sell them as, PCI cards by the pound. Most of my buyers just buy them as gold finger cards. I do separate them because to me a gold finger card needs a lot more chips on it. Again, that's just me. These are tantalum capacitors, and if I was selling to a board buyer, I probably would take those, but because I plan on hopefully selling these to one of you guys, I won't. Those are PCI riser cards. This is the PCI riser cage. Takes me a while to get going in the morning, you know. There's two little tabs here I gotta push in. It says, that's what it says anyway. I feel like I'm in Alice in Wonderland. Push here, pull here, drink this, eat that. You pull here and eat that. You don't know what's in that box. Hope everybody's okay and having a good weekend. And I can't believe summer's flying by so fast. It always does, doesn't it? Get that out of there. These are batteries, guys. They have to be disposed of properly, okay? So make sure they don't find their way into the landfill. Make sure they find their way into a recycling center. Our town landfill does have a place for those. And, you know, if you're doing this, you should be a responsible recycler. And, you know, make your money, but do your part. Alright, so that will go off to the side. Removing the PCI riser cage. I got directions on here. That's pretty cool. Getting a lot of really nice gold pins out of these things too. Alright, I unscrewed that. I unscrewed this. I undid that. Sometimes you just gotta Godzilla the thing. I'm going to turn this around. I am in tighter, well, I'm in a little bit tighter quarters than I like to be in, but let me turn this around. I already took out the power supplies because maybe I took enough weight off that I was able to get this out of the car. Haha. I'm really worried about breaking it, I can tell you that right now. If it breaks, I don't care. You know, even though they're all the same brand, each one has its own different configuration. This one has a bunch of screws on the back, the other ones didn't. I think if I get those off, I'll be able to get the PCI riser card off. You know me, it takes one or two to get my groove. Angel, good morning. Patrick, good morning. Alright. Yeah, there's a, this rail right here is bent, and it's bent over the screw that I need to get at to get this off. So what I'm doing right now is just freeing that bend so I can get the screw off and get the PCI riser cage. PCI riser cages are usually really loaded with Goldfinger cards, PCI riser cards, things like that. Oh my God. If you think I'm kidding about the load we took in yesterday, check out the video of them with a pallet of computers being put onto the back of poor Big Red. Oh my God. That poor pickup truck, what I've put it through this year. That truck was a gift from God, let me tell you. It has never failed me. It's a matter of fact, it's just a little bit over a year old. I have a 2023 leftover. I have a Nissan Frontier, and honestly, it has just been an amazing vehicle. I got it. It was a leftover, but it's a lot more truck than I need. It actually has every bell and whistle known to God and man. But unfortunately, when it went, I had already sold Mom's car. I didn't have a second car. Mom was, of course, gone by then. And I had to get something and get it fast. And they literally had me in the truck in an hour. So I think it was just meant to be. Alright, unlike this computer, I am not above Godzilla eating things. I've had my 2 cups of tea. I've had my oatmeal. Let's go. Oh my God. So yeah, it's going to be quite a bit of fun getting all these apart and out of the car. I'm going to have to just really work like crazy at it for the next 2 days. It's going to take me every bit of that to get everything out of the car. But, you know, I think what I'll probably do is put a couple of these aside. I don't know. My problem is I hate when it gets so messy around here. This rail is also bent, which is why I'm having there we go, a bit of a time with it. Oh, you should have seen them putting into the truck. The truck literally, and I have suspension that's extra high because it has an off-road package on it. It came like that. No, I don't go four-wheeling. I'm not that. Well, I probably would if I could. I literally watched them put the pallet on. It's like, oh God! But it was. I had them weigh it. The truck is a 1.5 tons, so we were okay. All right, come on, you punky thing, you out there. You punky thing, you out there. You know me, it takes me a while here. Alright. And that's that. So this is the inside of the PCI risers. Well, these are expansion ports. Expansion ports usually have gold trim on them like so. And, well, they haven't gotten wet yet. The trouble is, and I've had a lot of people who said that I could really use a couple of those servers. And I don't like throwing things away if somebody can use them. Here's the problem. These have been completely wiped. And a lot of things have already been taken out of them for security. That's number one. These are from 1990. So they're not even something you could upgrade. They were decommissioned because they were too old and too slow. And I honestly have put them up online for what I got them for in shipping. And I never sell any. You know, the shipping costs are exorbitant. You know, it's old, slow technology. Kind of like me. Old and slow. Just kidding. I want to put the air conditioner up just a little bit. And so these were sold as scrap. They were not sold as working units. I have no way to test them. I don't have that kind of space or technology in my house. And in some cases, guys, I'm actually obligated to take them apart because I was hired to do so. Well, Dave, where do you live? I'm in Connecticut. I don't know if that helps you any, but the problem is I think they're going to get wet today. That's going to be the problem. Then I could never sell them. I don't have a way to cover them, and I don't have a way to get them out of the car anytime fast. They're just too beastly heavy. All right, back to work, Villa. Let's go. There's more than one way to get things off a computer, eh? Alright. That's that. Nobody ever said I had to finesse it. Alright. So, PCI risers and PCI cards and things like that, they enhance the ability of the computer. A lot of times they're graphics or sound cards or processing cards to assist the main CPU. Sometimes you'll have a whole motherboard. Some of the, oh my god, but you should see some of the other ones we pulled apart. Alright. Let's go. Less chatter, more work. Let's go. Less chatter. How's the weather, everybody? We're in for quite a bit of a storm today. It's already looking pretty ominous outside. We had a beautiful week of weather, though. I really enjoyed this week on the being outside. I finally got the backyard to a point where I can enjoy it. Can't say the same about the inside of the house. We do have a contractor coming tomorrow, and out of this independent, not an appraiser. He works. They're an outside company that the insurance company hires. He's an engineer, because I'm arguing with the insurance company about the damage that the flood did to the house. You know, they wrote me a check for $10,000. I'm like, you're out of your mind. I've got 2 estimates here for 7 times that. So, hope and pray. Alright, so here's the expansion card. It even says PCI Express on it. Great for gold recovery. You'll get gold fingers. You'll get good pins in here. A lot of gold flashing. That shows that's an older unit. You know, a few chips on the back. It's cheaper than RAM. You don't get the chips, but you certainly can get the gold fingers. You know, I've been back and forth about cutting these fingers and just selling this as a low-grade board. I have given some consideration to that. You know, I don't like to cut this stuff. This is green and yellow. That's because there's copper, there's gold. This stuff is really hazardous to cut. You can get metal toxicity, poisoning, even being outside. I mean, this stuff smells. It is the nastiest smelling crap going. And that's really why I have never really opted to do something like that. I tried doing it with the tin snips. My hands are not strong enough. So you know what? I'll just pass it along to somebody who might want to do that. The value here to the refiner is this is all gold flashing. And that's why these boards are green and they're better grade. You get up into this crap they're selling now, it's plastic, you know? Good morning, Skeeter. Yeah, if I miss you guys in the comments, I'm sorry. You know, I take a little while to get rolling. I literally rolled out of bed and started my live this morning because I overslept. Number one, I overslept. But I won't beat myself up about it because yesterday was a really hard... I did a lot of work yesterday, and that's a good thing. Hard work is a good thing. I was raised up on hard work. Yesterday was interesting. I never met either of my grandparents. They had both died when my parents were very, very young. My mom didn't speak about her father a heck of a lot because he was very young when he passed. She was very little. But one of my cousins found his obituary yesterday, and really a fascinating read about who he was and little about it. So that was a nice piece of history for the family archives. So this is that's a logic chip. That's going to have lots of gold. That's a gold edged BGA gold something. Don't ask me to remember. I told you I'm not a computer person. I don't remember. I just sold this in with my gold finger cards. It could also go as a high-grade peripheral card. Again, you've got gold recovery here. You've got your chips here. I try to sort this out and keep all the same things, like by the pound. I would buy it as a gold finger card, therefore I would sell it as a gold finger card. And I know my buyer is also going to take that as a gold finger card. What I've done now is I have... thank you, Patrick. You're so good to me. Thank you, all of you guys. Angel, I think I saw your name go by. And I'm wishing you all well this morning. So yeah, there's so much stuff in here. So let's keep digging, eh? Okay. Didn't get as much RAM as this one. In this one as we did in some of the others, but we did really well. I've got 5 pounds of RAM up for sale. It's in the eBay store. If you are interested, I suggest you let me know sooner rather than later, because that will sell. The only problem with eBay is I have to charge more money because of the dang commissions and everything. So if you're here on my channel, shoot me an email. You know, I will direct sell it to you if you can pay by PayPal. And if you do buy it from the eBay store, I will add a little bit extra to offset the cost. So this is shielded RAM. This is really super easy to take it apart. I cracked up the other day. I was watching Scrooge McDuck and OTD use toaster ovens to put things in and get them heated up. This just requires a little bit of heat. I don't know if I'd put it in a toaster oven. A heat gun will work well. A hair dryer will work well. There's thermal paste across this, and that keeps that on here. But once you heat it up, the thermal paste will melt. You can pop these clips off and just open it up. I mean, it's like a minute's work to go from something that's $9 a pound to something that is $40 a pound. So I sell that too. It's sold a lot cheaper. I'd love to have the time to break all these heat shields up. I just don't have it. Patrick got a #1 gifter badge. Thank you, Patrick. Patrick was one of my... Matter of fact, I'm looking in through the names. Skeeter, Patrick Williams, Angel Williams, and just so many of you. Cowboy's been with me a long time. Just so many of you who've been with me right since I started this. God bless you guys. I am humbled beyond belief. Who'd ever thought that a retired 65-year-old music teacher would be taking apart computers on TikTok and having the time of her life doing so, huh? You guys are awesome. It's been a lot of fun. I'm enjoying your channels too. I've learned a lot from you guys. Okay, these I already know because we took them apart. These are aluminum. That's just going to go right in with my, I have an old sheet bucket. And I just throw them in there. I have yet to find a yard that will actually pay extruded on this. Extruded has to be perfect. I would have to get these screws out and get that cover off. And even if I do it, they're not going to pay it, so, yeah. It's just like beer break copper. It's going to look like it just rolled off the mill, and even then they're going to fight you on it. Candy cane arms here. So you know it's not a night core. Of course you know that because of its age. I didn't find the date on this one yet. I'm going to base it on, it's probably 1990. Sometimes there's a date on the RAM. 4 gigabyte RAM, not as chunky as some of the other. That's early 90s. Somewhere on the board there will be a date. We'll get there. Alright. Torx. On a lot of these servers, you do have to get these brackets off because these, they hold the board to a metal plate underneath, so a lot of times you have to get those off. Not always, but sometimes. This is all just shred, guys. I have a couple more of those huge honking big boys in the car, But to get those apart, the whole front section where all the goodies were, it's got like a dual processing unit, and it's really an amazing. It's about this thick. I think you saw one of them yesterday. But in order to do that, I have to get it apart. And I have to get it apart. And take it apart piecemeal. It's too heavy. I haven't got a snowball's chance in Hades of moving that thing. I got a feeling that's what I'm gonna. The scrapyard opens at 6. As much as I detest getting up that early, I'm usually up by 7 though. I don't sleep late. Of course, I'm in bed by. I'm in bed when it gets dark. Last night I was up late though, just trying to work on stuff. I've got the store pretty well stocked, guys. And again, I still have to get the computer scrapper up. I'm gonna be able to. See, to do that, to actually sell like e-scrap by the pound, I've got to have enough inventory, and I just don't have the inventory to do that yet. And with rental season coming up, you know, I've got to just kind of keep it like I'm doing it for now. It'll get there. You know, it'll be e-scrap by the pound. You'll be able to buy it right out of the store. That is a ways off. Very nice wire. Again, guys, there's no resale in any of this, honest. You make sure you want to get these gold connector ends out. Board Sort buys them. A lot of my buyers will buy gold connector ends. Don't be throwing that gold away, right, Patrick? So it's just a flip chip. Somebody asked me yesterday what a heat sink was. This is a heat sink. Heat shield, heat sink. It protects the chip from getting overheated. So these things get hot as. So that'll just go in with my old sheet. Some yards buy them as clips. I just throw it into old sheet. Old sheet. Alright. Let's see. Yeah, that's some kind of a Xeon chip, I think. Find something to clean it with. These are pinless CPUs. Intel 2008. By the way, guys, if you get a Xeon with a funny looking processing center, put it aside and look up the number. A lot of them are platinum and gold. They started putting these in the early 90s. They got away from the gold pinned CPUs. Again, as the computers got more popular, more people wanted them, manufacturers had to figure a way to make it cheap so everybody could get it. So they started cutting back on the gold. They started adding more plastic. They went to these pinless CPUs. This all is playing into this great God Almighty game of board grading that's going on. What a shit show. There's no other word for it. I'm beyond pissed off about the whole thing now. And the reason that I'm pissed off is because several of my buyers, not all of them, but 3 out of 4, downgraded this, and all they're going to pay me for is dual metal socket motherboard, server motherboard. Now, in my opinion, this board is worth more than that. Why? Because of the amount of gold in it. So, if you're not going to pay me what the board's worth, I'll sit on it until I find somebody who does. You know? And, but on the, I understand the other side of the coin, that being these newer boards that are all plastic. People are sending those to online buyers and expecting to be compensated the same price as they would get for a board like this. That's not fair to the buyer. So I think it's just going to take a long time to sort itself out. I hate to say it, what they need to do is break it even further into boards pre-2020. Because people like me who have these old boards are getting screwed. Not on purpose, but just because everything gets thrown into one category. Yeah, Mark, somebody else said that too, but the CPU pins are really good for gold recovery. Mark is saying the pins are really good for gold recovery. Yes, they are on the pin CPUs, but these pinless things, no, they're flush and they're flat. I have almost 200 pounds of those sitting in my basement. I got a garbage can full of them. And I have them up for sale at exactly what my buyer would have paid me. Nobody wants them. I'm going to wind up selling those this week too. I don't want to, but sometimes it's just not worth hanging on to it anymore. And I've got to come up with $75,000 to fix my house, which I will, but I had a flood Mother's Day weekend, and I've got the house. The house is livable, but now it's going to have the bathroom floor got it really bad. We had a problem with the water pressure here at the house. It was dropped way low. Everybody had the problem. Town came, and the water company came, not just my house, but the whole street, and they flushed all the mains and turned up the pressure. And when they did that, my old stuff here at the house couldn't take the upgrade, and one of the sinks overflowed. And it overflowed into the first floor of my house. My kitchen got flooded, my bathroom got flooded, and then it just found its way down into the basement. So, and the thing is, I was home. I was out cutting the grass. Thank God I was home. But, the argument is who's going to pay for it, and my answer is, well, sure as hell not me. I'm not the one who didn't warn a homeowner that this could happen. And by the way, I wasn't the only one. It happened to my neighbor too, but she was home. She got it right away, so. And, you guys know how it goes. I just bought the house. I got the house in February. But, one thing at a time. It'll be okay. I'm safe. I have a roof over my head. I've been enjoying being outside all summer, but once fall gets here, I don't know. We'll get there. God is good. He takes good care of me. He always has. And I know he'll get me through this. But anyway, the point is I'm going to have all these frickin' people in the house tomorrow just arguing. The contractor is going to come. The insurance guy is going to come. This third-party engineer is going to come. So hopefully by tomorrow I'll have some kind of resolution. Because, of course, the insurance company won't make a decision without this inspector. I can't apply for a loan until I have a decision from the inspector. It's just, this happened Mother's Day. That was the middle of May. It should have been freaking done by now. But anyway, you know what? It's over. It's done. So done with it. Closing up the teaching studio. I've actually closed the teaching studio. I do still have the rental business. I can do that from a storage bin and a desk. Most of my clients have been with me 5 or 6 years, so that'll be fine. How much gold are you able to extract from one computer? I'm not the one to ask about that because my field of expertise is not gold recovery. I recover stuff for people to. I recover stuff so people who do that have a place to get some e-scrap. All right, this wasn't too bad. I took the fans out already. They were here. Without the fans out, you don't have a way to free this board. If it gets too fussy, I'll just put it aside and start another one. I know this is going to go to a board buyer. See, here this is the buyer's point of view, myself as well, by the way. I mean, I do buy boards. There is a lot of waste here. If I step back, you can maybe see it. And see if I can get you a better picture of it. So for a buyer, this board has a lot of waste on it. This is all waste. This is all waste. The value is inside the board itself for a refiner. There's some chips here, yeah, and there's some good value here for the buyer. I don't buy these personally because I don't refine gold. I don't refine these. This goes into a shredder. The value is going to be this gold flashing, the gold in here, the gold here, gold, gold, gold. That's the value. So that's why dual socket motherboards don't pay as well because of this. That's the problem with server boards in general. So that whole thing I understand. And really my rant of about 2 minutes ago really isn't regarding this particular type of board, but it's regarding other boards. And by the way, one of my buyers is super reasonable. I sent him a picture and he says, yeah, we can upgrade that, or yeah, we can't. And he does, when he can, he does. I can't say he doesn't. But like I said, this whole sorting boards, I have to get this, all these little screws off. Servers are a pain in the ass. Hi, Dave. Again, guys, if I missed you, I'm sorry. You know I love you all. So, yeah. So, I still think this current board buying shift has to work itself out. HPs almost always include one of these. This is a, what do you call it? Torque screwdriver. I have a lot of these. I save them. Those I sell by the dozen. I also lose them by the dozen. Alright, let's see. So, as far as I can see, I should be able to start working the board free. I took the power supplies out before. They're just heavy. Over here is a backplane board. This is a backplane board. This is where the hard drives would have plugged in. Usually very good gold on the back of a backplane board. Okay. Hi, Skeeter. Alright, let's see if I can get this little darling out. Like I said, I already took... This is where the fans would have been. That's why there's no components here. First thing I usually do is take out the fans because I'm going to have to push this board forward to free it. Yeah, I'm inside today. It's so muggy outside. Actually, it wasn't bad all week, but today, ugh, it's disgusting. Oh, it's going to rain. I got the new awning up, but it's a bit flimsy for what I paid for it. And it does go, it has the remote on it for taking it down and putting it up. So I've got it down because I don't think it's going to do well in a storm. So I don't want to take a chance. Alright, let's see if I can get this puppy out of here. This is always the struggle. You guys know this is getting the board itself out. It doesn't actually take me that long to do this, but when you're enjoying a bit of a chat, it takes a while. Alright, let's see if I can get this out. Show you the backplane board. Most online buyers have a category for just backplane boards. Some throw them in with PCI riser cards. They chuck the whole thing into one lot. I separate them, but again, that's just me. I'm very specific what I put into a... Because I've been on the other side of this, you know, I buy and sell boards. I just don't agree with what everybody else is doing. And it's my channel, and I can do what I want, la, la, la. It's my party, and I'll cry if I want to. But I think it's better for you guys. I really do. I think you're able to order much more item-specific things for your needs. Everybody wants RAM. I mean, let's just face it. Do you have any RAM? And you get that, and I don't. Well, right now I do. But I won't buy tonight. Look at the gold in this thing. Holy crap. Product of China. Yeah, my estimate is this board is from just pre-2000. I haven't found the date on it yet. Wow, look at that. And the inside of the board too. That's a backplane board. And again, you know, I put them all, I grouped them, you know. I'll sell a pound of backplane boards. I'll sell a pound of PCI riser cards. I think I'm going to start working on some mixed bags and stuff, but always take your battery off. You can't ship with the battery, and you can get fined boku bucks. I hope this is what I think it is. Look at this. Now it's technically a backplane board, but I have these separated. I'm going to call it something else. I just don't quite know what yet. But look at the gold. Gold and gold fingers. For those of you who do gold refining, definitely want to look for those. I haven't quite got a pound yet. I've got, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4. I don't have a pound yet. Yeah, so I'll have a pound of those, and I'll put them up for sale when I get them. Here they are. Look at that. This is where the power supply is plugged in, and the power supplies on these have a big gold strip like that, so the power supply is plugged in here. Backplane board, something gold into something gold. But yeah, I'll get a pound of those up, and I'll make sure there's good pictures for you so you know what they are. But for those of you who are gold refining, that is a hell of a lot cheaper than buying RAM. So, you know. And for those of you who are digging for parts like I am, those are good parts. Make sure you don't toss them away. The value is not always in the boards. A lot of the time the value is the peripherals. And that's especially true with servers. I'm not going to make squat on the board, really. I'm going to make, by the time I ship it, I ain't going to make crap. The money's going to be on the peripherals, on the RAM, on the gold finger cards. That's the money. That's why I go after older servers. That's why I could buy new servers every day of the week, but you know, that have been outdated. Matter of fact, I've got tons of them. Not tons, but I've got a lot of them backed up. A lot of people dumped Windows 10. Yes, I know things can be uploaded, things can be changed, things can be modified. I don't do that. That's not Ballywick. So a lot of the schools in the office, they just took the whole Windows, anything pre-Windows 10, and they chucked them. And there's really no value in them. They have an integrated motherboard. They don't have crap for peripherals. You wind up with a lousy board that costs you too much to ship. The value would be if it has an iCore 579, I think, are the good ones. iCore chips sell well. The boards are lousy. The boards get downgraded so bad it isn't even funny. So, like I said, there's all this blowback from, there we go. Ta-da! There's all this blowback from this shift in board buy, and I just don't think it's sorted itself out yet. I think it's got a long way to go. Flip that over, see if there's anything I gotta get out of there. I'll bend these little tabs back and I'll be able to pull that board free. Board free. There's really nothing on the bottom of the board. I know that because I've stripped a lot of these. These are gold beam crystal oscillators, gold edged BGAs. There's good gold here. This is actually pinned. There's pins here. But the pins, the CPU I took out of it is a pinless metalback CPU. $8.90 a pound. Thank you for all of you who have been sending gifts and encouragement and kind words and everything else. You guys rock. Alright, so this is a small socket, multi-socket, small metal socket, multi-socket, green motherboard. I have not seen server boards in any other color. I have not, I think the Apple might be blue. I don't really buy them. If I find one, I'll be glad to take it apart and we can find out together. I'd like to get this off. I have to get this off. I have to get in here with a screwdriver and take that apart. Hi Satoshi, welcome aboard. And I want to get that off. See, I have to leave this on here for my buyer. That's where that nice gold pinned piece that I just pulled came out. So there's 4 screws here. I have to get in here. I have to get a long-handled screwdriver. I'll get in there. I'll get those off, take the plate off, and this board will be ready to sell just like it is. I won't depopulate it. Again, the whole board buying thing is up in the air. If I was going to take anything, I would take this right here, just because of the gold pins, but I want to wait until I talk to my buyer. I respect my buyer. I am not going to short him because he's never shorted me. You know, one of my buyers. He's my favorite buyer. You know, everybody else is still up in the air and nobody knows what the hell we're doing with it all. Anyway, I have another server outside. I don't know what it actually is. It's a brand I haven't heard of. I'll go get that one. I'm going to put this out. I want to get rid of as much metal tomorrow as I can, but I don't even know if I can get to the yard tomorrow. I'll be back in 1 minute, guys. It's right out here on the other table. Oh my God, it's disgusting out here. Okay. The other one I've got on the table is one like I just took apart. I really don't want to do another of the same if I can help it. This is unbranded. I don't know what this guy is. This looks like Cisco. I don't think it is, though. EMC Corporation. Nemco. That is not a brand I'm familiar with. Alright, something new. Yay! You know what something new means? It means it's going to be a pain in D's ass to get apart. I really so far prefer to, oh my God, ew. Excuse me, I gotta get this out of here. We are infested. Don't you dare jump, you little bastard. Now you're gonna get squashed. We are infested in this state with these spotted lantern flies. Oh my God, I think that's what killed the oak tree. I really do. Ugh. He must have marched in on my clothing when I went outside. I got bugs! My mother My mother and I went to Ireland probably about 20, 25 years ago. Right after Daddy died, we promised ourselves a trip to Ireland. And Mother had traveled in Europe, but never in any of the countries like Switzerland or Germany or Ireland, or where there are no screens on the windows. God rest her soul. Mother was a very proper lady. She very elegant. We were not rich, but my mom was very elegant, and she liked certain things. She had to have air conditioning, which the main floor of the hotel had. But in a lot of the mountainous countries, it gets cool at night. You don't need it. Like when I went to Switzerland, there's no such thing as air conditioning. You sweated your ass off during the day, and at night it got nice and cool. Spent a week sleeping on an Alp. That was really fun. So we're on this tour, and she had called and asked a million questions about the room and this and the other thing. We get up to the room, and there are no curtains and no screens in the window. Mother got hysterical. She couldn't handle it. She called the hotel manager, and she says, I need screens. I'm like, Ma, they don't have screens. I have cheesecloth. I brought it along just for you. She goes, no, I want screens. I said, they don't. They're not going to do that. So he came up, and of course, now the poor thing, God in heaven bless her, she was so upset. And she's like, I can't sleep. There's going to be bugs. And he turned around with his very thing and says, Madam, I assure you there are no bugs in Ireland. Well, I lost it. I just was cracking up. She was so mad at me. I said, Mother, having gone through Switzerland and Germany and Austria, I have the solution, and I had packed along cheesecloth. And, she said, you let me go through all that? I said, I tried to tell you. It's very different. I've been to Europe before. It wasn't like this. I said, you went to Paris. I said, that was different. Oh, my God. Italy, too. I mean, it was, there were no screens on the windows, and it was cool at night because, you're up in the mountains. Oh, my God. There are no bugs in Ireland. Patrick, are there bugs in Ireland? It was the way he said it, though. It was hilarious. It was funny. I will never forget. I got her a T-shirt that said, Madam, there are no bugs in Ireland. Oh, my God. She was... I had bought mosquito netting, and I had bought cheesecloth because I had traveled across Europe quite a couple of times already by then, and I knew the drill. God, it was funny. It was funny, but it wasn't. But that was that was where we were going to be the next 8 days, so you have to tough it up, my lady. What are you going to do, get enough so they can go home? Terrible daughter laughing at my mother's discomfiture. So what happens to me is I bring in a spotted lanternfly. Oh, they're nasty. They're ugly as sin. They look like little demons on 6 legs. Oh, and they jump. They jump. They jump. I was going to put them back outside, but they actually have, they encourage everybody to squish them and kill them. And, I got a little problem with teaching kids to squish things and kill things. And I know they're invasive. I know they're doing, they're doing tremendous amount of damage to the wineries and the grapes and the berry fields. Yeah, they're doing a job. But there's got to be another way to control the damn things besides squashing them. It's not its fault it was born a bug. Oh, they're ugly as sin, though. They're this, ugh. Anybody else having problems with spotted lanternflies in their part of the states here? There's more invasive things in this state that I can even tell you. I've got it out in the backyard. We've got this invasive English ivy. It's completely covered my shed. It's just everywhere. And then my neighbor, who I love more than anything in the world, planted mint. You ever tried to get rid of mint? Oh, God. You know, nobody, and bamboo. We've just got all these things. We've got invasive pythons overrunning the Everglades. We've got lanternflies. We've got iguanas invading Florida. Gotta start messing with Mother Nature, Alright. So, here, this would be a PCI riser card. I'll put that in with the other ones. Gold fingers, good gold there. Over there with your friends. Yeah, I've never taken one of these apart. This is a Nemco. Nemco. Let's see what number RAM this is. We have 4 gigabytes, so that makes it, that's older. So this is running at 4, 8, 12, 16 gigabytes. Not much here. This is what I would call a basic server. Maybe something you'd use for gaming or some such thing. Or maybe just office work. It's not got a lot on it. A couple of PCI cards. Maybe a couple peripheral cards that we can salvage. Hello, William Wallace. Paul, I see a lot of new names in the chat. Wow, hello. Welcome. Alright, so we're getting there, guys. I know I have 5 pounds of RAM. I have a feeling by the time I finish these, I'll have another 5. Alright. I should be wearing gloves. You'd think I'd learn. My very first live, I cut myself on a piece of metal right across my finger. 17 stitches I wound up getting. I put a Band-Aid on it and just kept going, But, yeah, E-scrap is sharp, especially boards and stuff. So we'll take the metal off here. That's an Intel. I didn't find a date on that HP, guys. I'm going to really go with early 1990s just because of the things that were inside. This one, this is an Intel board. This is interesting. I have not seen one of these. I think it's just going to go as a basic dual metal socket motherboard. Let's see what's under here. These are your heat sinks. Man, did you remember the we got a lot of copper heat sinks out of the old IBM Dell. That was amazing. And yeah, that was something else. Okay, Phillips. I need a Phillips. I hate working on the kitchen table, but it is. There's no other word for what it is outside besides absolutely disgusting. It's unhealthy. And I try not to run the air. Number one, I don't really think it's all that great for you, but I really only run it at night. I keep the house at about 78, 70 during the day. But I've got it on now just because, oh my God, it's just so humid. And I always worry when it gets humid like that. That usually brings some pretty bad thunderstorms. And, I wanted to get the grass cut today, but forget it. My goal for today is to get my truck emptied so I can at least use it tomorrow. And I want to get to the scrapyard. I wanted to do a non-ferrous run. I have a lot of copper heat sinks I want to get rid of. And of course all these, that's the trouble with computers and servers and stuff. You wind up to your fanny in metal. Okay, what do we got here? So these are peripheral cards. Peripheral cards, guys, anything that isn't a motherboard. Simple as that. Peripheral boards are usually graded as high grade and low grade. You have to kind of almost put yourself in the buyer's shoes. Look at the board and say, gee, well, what's on here for me? There's nothing on it. Well, it could even be downgraded to a low-grade board, but peripheral boards will have good, at least 1 or 2 good components and chips on them, and should have visible gold. Now, there's going to be a gold banded, I can see it already. There's gold banded BGA under here. I'll get this off. I'll clean that up. And I know there's a good gold bearing chip because I can look at this and see it. And so we'll get that off. And I'll sell that as a high-grade peripheral board. This is good for you guys too who are looking to buy gold-bearing materials for your own refinery. Whether you buy it from me or somebody else, who cares? But at least now you know what's in there. This is a low-grade peripheral board. There's going to be some gold in here. A telephone jack. But there's a little bit of gold on it, so I can throw it in with peripherals. Kind of a I think peripheral board is just kind of like a garbage basket term, you know. It's kind of a catch-all. All right. Now, when you're nipping these kind of things here, see this? That's on a spring, so you want to make sure you cover your face or you're going to get E-scrap right in the kisser. This has got a huge aluminum heat shield on it. Okay, wow. This will definitely be a high-grade peripheral board. Lots of visible gold, good chips and components. I'll get that off, and you know, obviously with this amount of gold, there'll be a quality chip underneath it. I prefer it when it can get these. See what I mean about it'll go flying? Notice I'm pointing that away from my face. Otherwise, it would have smacked me. You don't want me getting smacked, do you? The only smacking for me is if my boyfriend's in town. I'll be here all week. Thank you very much. Good morning, Shelley. Good morning, Sean. Yes, you know, this isn't a bad little board. I wouldn't pay beaucoup bucks for it for the server. And again, this is another reason I do this. This is a Nemco server. It's thin. Oh, time to verify. Excuse me. Verification required. I always forget to set the timer. And I have had them, I've had it just shut me down and shut me off. I've got to remember to set a timer when I do my live. Once you go over an hour, it won't let you put the live replay on TikTok, but I can download the video and I can put it on YouTube, which I always do, in case, you know, in case you missed my live and you want to see it. Okay. Now, when you're trying to get these off, if you have to fight with it, leave it be. Reason being, if you're going to sell this to somebody who, you know, a board buyer, see? If you're going to sell this to a board buyer and the chip gets stuck to this when you pull it because you forced it, you're going to get downgraded. In this case, some dum-dum forgot to unscrew the screws. Gee, wonder who did that, eh? Hi, JD. Good morning. Not bad, 14.5K. God bless you guys. I'll take it. Yeah, this is my usual time to go live is Sunday mornings. I usually go on and then I go over to 11:30 Mass. But I can't use the car because I unstrapped everything. So yeah, look at that. You got lots of chips here. You got a chip here. It's a flip chip, I think, not a... although there'll be gold. There's visible gold here. Chips here, chips here. Yeah, that's a high-grade peripheral board all day. Okay, that'll be in a bag with high-grade peripheral boards for those of you who are interested in such things. Like I said, there's not a lot of value here. It's just going to go as a server motherboard. I have no idea what this is. I've not seen one. It's going to be persnickety, though. Maybe persnickety. Let me grab a Phillips screwdriver, guys. Ooh, nice and cool in the dining room. Any of you guys have trouble with those spotted lanternflies in your part of the country? They're nasty. Ugh, I'm still cringing. I'm cringing more knowing he's in my house somewhere. Oh, I see him. Let me show you. That is one ugly little sucker. Matter, you don't like the camera? You gotta run? Ugh. I don't even know where he is. I don't care. They're harmless. They don't hurt anybody, but they destroy the vegetation. They secrete this sticky stuff. I got it over everything. It's over my house. It's over my windows. It's just disgusting. You just stay right there. Hey Dave, how are you? Good morning. Long time no here. Yeah, so like I said, this is my usual Sunday morning. I forgot who I was watching last night. Buzz, somebody else. It's really cool because you go on to other people's channels and there's all your all your subscribers hanging out over there too, and we all seem to have this niche, and it's nice. I think we all support each other's videos, and so and I think we all kind of have our own little established times when we go on. These are aluminum, guys. I'm not going to worry about cleaning them. I'm going to throw it in with old sheet. Got a lot of aluminum. A good bunch of aluminum going to the yard tomorrow. Alright, so we have a candy cane here. So this will be some type of an Intel chip, most likely. You know what? It's not going to be an iCore, I don't think, because iCore has a very distinctive arm to it. You want to be careful if you're pulling anything that could potentially be an iCore. The value there is in the chip. The boards are worth squid now. They've really downgraded the iCore boards because they've got a lot of plastic in them. And, myself as well. Those things are clear cut. There's just a lot of other... there's just so much crap going on in the world of board buying and selling these days. I can't even keep up with it, and I do it, it's my living now. I don't know. You change the things you can and you let the rest of it just be until it sorts itself out, right? Hey, are you kidding me? Good morning to you. Yeah, guys, please take a minute, double tap on the screen. If you could just leave me a like, I would appreciate that. It really does help the channel a lot. If you'd like to subscribe, I'd love to have you. On all servers, you must get the boards off, the brackets off, because otherwise you won't get the board off. I'll say most, I won't say all. There is nothing that isn't all. Okay. In this case, I don't see a metal plate under here. This is a small form factor unit. I was looking for a date on, I haven't found one yet. Intel server board. Well, it's got a lot of good gold flashing going through it. I haven't found a date on this yet. Hold on, maybe it's over here. Sometimes it's here. It's a serial number. Again, well, you know, you can often tell by pulling the pin out. And I'm not really worried about it. It's a pinless CPU. It's worth scrap only, and there's going to be a Xeon. That is an Intel Xeon E5 2600. Yeah, there's no date on that. These look like early 90s to me. Oh, mid 90s. They look pre-2000, but they, like I said, there's really nothing here to tell me anything else. So all I know is these were all decommissioned, and I actually am under orders to scrap these guys. Per se, that was part of the agreement. I have to send a certificate of destruction. I got subcontracted. Somebody asked, how do I get these? And I'm like, find yourself an IT partner who needs help. Tell them they'll sign a certificate of destruction and offer to help them. I have no idea what this is. It's a battery pack. Ugh. Come on, you beast. Oh, now my spotted lanternfly is heading towards my kitchen light. Creepy thing. Ugh. I won't squish them. I can't do it. I'll just throw them outside. I'm not really afraid of bugs after my lovely story about the bugs in Ireland and my mom. I'm not afraid of them. He scared the hell out of me. They jump. They just jump at you. That's their defense mechanism. Ugh. God, he's ugly. He probably thinks I'm ugly too, eh? So I'll have to get this off and properly dispose of the battery that's underneath. They can go over there with its buddies. Right, so again, a small socket, dual socket, metal, server board, dual metal socket, or possibly multi-socket, multi-metal socket motherboard, server motherboard. They come in small circuit and large circuit. The buyers base the amount of gold that's in there. So a small circuit, you can't fit a dime or what are those batteries inside, but a large circuit, a large socket, a large socket you can. Alright, well, 2 down, 38 to go, guys. I'll get the aluminum off. Sometimes there's gold here. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Scrapping Irish will be on this afternoon. Shark Scrapper will be on this afternoon. Maybe I'll catch you guys there. Hey, Hobie Kenobi, I have a question for you. Are these, and if you don't know, it's okay. I was going to ask Scrooge McDuckin too. These flat, pinless CPUs, is there any gold recovery to them at all? Like flashing or anything else? I had somebody ask, and I really didn't have an intelligent answer because I don't refine gold. But, these pinless things, is there any gold recovery to these whatsoever? Passing that question on to Obi-Wan Kenobi. He's really good at this gold refining stuff. JD, good morning. 150 of them might get you close to a gram before refining. So in other words, they're a lot of trouble for... So keep saving them, in other words, huh? I came in here to get something and it's not here. Obi-Wan, I'm still saving up a package of Mylars for you. I still have 150 Opus phones to scrap. So we'll get to those. Thank you. They resell very well. I think board swords at about $9 a pound. That's about the best price I've seen on them. The heat sinks are copper, by the way, guys, on the back of those. You know, again, it's your comfort level. I resell them by the pound myself, but I'm getting a load off the board sort today. And it's going to be boards, so because of the shipping, I'm going to have to stick a bunch of smalls in there, like some RAM and some peripheral cards and things like that to offset my shipping, which is going to be atrocious. There is a backplane board here I should get because there's lots of gold pins there already. Hey guys, if you have questions about gold refining or looking for channels that do that a lot, Obi-Wan Kenobi is really good, Scrooge McDuckin is really good. Just type in #gold refining and you'll find a plethora of people who do that. I usually take this thermal paste off because it's just as messy as and it gets everywhere. Stuff's so messy. Yucky, yucky, yucky. Yeah. Again, so we got quite a bit of aluminum. I didn't get any copper heat sinks. I don't think I'll ever find anything like we got off of those IBM blade modules. I had 80 copper heat sinks, and they paid me bear break for them. Oh, that was amazing. And the timing was amazing too, because copper had just, shot up again. Wow. Look at the model number. If it's an i5 or i7, resell. Yes, you're right, and that's a good point. And I didn't give you that information when I pulled this. The i-series, yes, definitely resell. i5 and i7, anywhere between, I don't know, depends on the serial number. But in this case, these are Xeons. So my question, I guess, Obi-Wan, would really be more these Xeon CPUs. Are they worth anything for gold refining? Yes, I am aware of the resale on the i-series, and that was a great point to bring up from the viewers. Thank you. See? Alright guys, well, I have been blabbing at you for over an hour. I am going to try to get a couple more of these out of the truck, but that will involve some time, and I don't want to tie you guys up. I probably will put videos up of some of the other ones, because there's a lot of people who go on live Sunday afternoon, and I don't want to disrespect somebody else's time, but I will add some more videos as I go through this enormous pile that's in my truck. Thank you again, everybody, for spending a little bit of time with me this Sunday, and this was fun. So, dual metal socket motherboard, server motherboard rather, and small socket. I'm not going to take anything off of this board. It's going to get sold just like it is to my board buyer. This one's pretty straight up. There's no, there's no gold pins or anything along those lines to work around. All right. Have a splendid Sunday, everybody. God in heaven bless each one of you. I wish you all well. If you're going to get these storms that I think we're going to get, stay safe. i-series, because those carry almost 3 times more gold than your average laptop, no pin CPU. Sure. Yes, I just don't seem to get any resale on them unless I sell them to board sort. Which I can always do. I mean, I never have a problem selling my e-scrap. I just try to make it available to you guys first. If it doesn't sell, I just throw it in the box and off the board sort it goes. I have no problem selling e-scrap. I also, as I add things into the eBay store, I'll post them on my profile page. Again, remember guys, if you want to get something, just don't be afraid to DM me. My problem with eBay is I have to pay the commissions and everything else, and it makes it a little more expensive. I have PayPal, if you're looking for something or you need me to put an order together, hit me up with an email. I know everybody's got, do you have RAM? Do you have RAM? Do you have RAM? I have 5 pounds of RAM for sale right now in the eBay store. If you're interested in buying 5 pounds of RAM, hit me up quick because that will sell. That'll be going by tonight. I know with all the servers I have in, I should get at least another 5 pounds. And that'll be clean RAM, guys. It'll be clean, gold-fingered RAM. Okay. I've got a lot of shielded RAM, too. I've got that up for sale a lot less. You know, and it's every bit as good. You just don't have the heat shield. Okay. So, let's see. There is no date on this thing, but it's an Intel board. I can see a lot of good gold through here. I had time. I just wanted to finish this up before I love and leave you. Gold-banded BGAs. Not a bad board. It's probably stainless. I'm not sure. The gold recovery on this board is not great. So it's just a basic dual socket motherboard, and that'll go off just like it is. I'll sell it just like that. I'm not going to take anything off of it because I am going to sell it just like that. And there's not a heck of a lot of value. There's a lot of wasted space. That's the problem with server boards. And if you start knocking things off and depopulating things, your buyer's going to get really pissed. They're going to downgrade you, and then they're not going to buy nothing from you. That's the last thing you need. Alright, everybody. I will see you soon. Have a great rest of your Sunday. Stay safe, stay well. Squish spotted lantern flies. I'm going to throw him outside. I'm not going to squish him. It's not his fault he was born a bug. Alright. God bless. Stay wonderful. Love ya. Bye.